He's Bill Ryder, and he's Ryder than you.
The program Ryder than you, sometimes.
He's a fan.
I love sports so much.
He's in your face.
I will destroy those obnoxiously arrogant, clueless, tone-deaf superstars who are marginal players, good players, who made careers, who think they're Hall of Famers.
He's nice.
I promise, we're nice here.
He's humble.
I think I'm pretty good if you're on the show about admitting if I got it wrong.
Live from Los Angeles, here's Bill Ryder.
What up? Happy Wednesday, BillRyder.substack.com, BillRyder.substack.com. If you're watching, that's where you are. If you're listening, you're over. Maybe on Apple or Spotify or somewhere else. That's great. That's wonderful. That's marvelous. The spiel is still the spiel. Ad-free experience, BillRyder.substack.com. Some ads at the other spots, but if that's how you like to hang with us that way. We're going to get to a bunch of stuff today. Pod today, obviously, we're doing this. We had a pod Monday with Tom DeCelestino. One of you said you liked the new guy, and he was pretty good. I found that very funny since Todd hasn't been on the, I don't know his name anymore. That guy, his name's Tom, not Todd. Since Tom, he hasn't been on the show in a year. We had Reed Forgrave yesterday behind the paywall. Wide-ranging conversation. I thought very interesting. So if you missed that, check it out. Stu and I are today, with a caveat, I'll tell you about it. And then no pod tomorrow, and I think we're going to do one on Friday. I got to figure out who that is. This is obviously being taped, okay? So you're going to get this later. Stu has what we call in the business a hard out. So at a certain time, he's just going to leave. Back in the day, this would have been really one of Stu's 11 girlfriends, like trying to juggle. But now that he's in a serious relationship, Stu has to take one of his 9 cats to the vet or something. I don't know what's going on. Hello, Stuart Kovacs.
Hello, Bill.
Say a cat day?
It is not. It is a Stu dentist work day.
I don't like the dentist, man.
I don't like the dentist either. I'm with you on that. It is, not a good.
Are you getting a shot? Are you getting the Novocaine?
I'm getting a little Novocaine, unfortunately.
Do you have a cavity?
Yeah. It's not.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
Not ideal. Nah, it's okay. What can you do? It happens.
You can brush your teeth and eat less sugar, but I don't,
yeah.
I don't know.
I guess so.
Some of it's genetic. You know what gives me a toothache sometimes, too?
What's that?
Great transitions. That's what gives me. Yeah, you know.
Oh, Bill, I was gonna say, you got Tom on the pod. Wow, I can't believe you got a hold of him. That's pretty astounding.
We all love Tom. It doesn't matter what I say. He's never going to listen to this, and you're never going to listen to the ones that you're not on. He's a weirdo, dude. Like, I'm like a little weird, I guess, a little goofy, and you're
sure. We're all weird, but he's I agree.
Not like him. We're all weird in the sort of sphere of normal human behavior. He's weird in a way that if he can be an alien. I'm like, man, I've called you like every day for the last 2 weeks. Where you been? Oh, how's it going?
Just doesn't address it.
Answer the question. All right, so I made this. So I've got a new radio show coming out on Monday, DMAC and Ryder, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. So Stewie, that's 5 to 9 for you. If I did the math right on the East Coast, are you going to call in? It's all LA talk. You're a Lakers guy.
I think I could call in. Yeah,
you got to call in. You got to get those calls rocking.
Yeah.
So we're doing practice shows, and I made the analogy the other day about LeBron. My co-host, Doug McCain, D-Mac, he's a character. He's a character, too. I like him. He's funny. I think the show is going to be good. He is a just very positive, over-the-top, rainbows, puppy dogs, Care Bear, joy coming out everywhere. Some would say Homer. Super fan. Everybody's great, everybody's great, everybody's great until he gets really mad at him. He loves LeBron. He wants LeBron back. LeBron's perfect. LeBron's the greatest teammate ever. I made the analogy to him. Have you ever, well, you did because you had like 9 girlfriends. We've all had these friend groups where somebody's dating somebody before the marriage years, and she's hot as can be and sexy and beautiful, and like she's a 10. I can actually think of 2 examples of my buddies. And when you first meet them, you're like, good for Johnny, good for Johnny Laker. That this is amazing. And then you realize that she's toxic and that she's awful. And that she's destructive, and that she's mean to him, and she's going to undermine his friends, and she's put out, and she's a narcissist. And someone has to say, hey, man, this girl sucks. You cannot date her. But nobody ever does it. And I've done it, and I have one friendship that ended over it. Like, okay, and then, I was Ryder than that guy. It's a bummer. I almost name-checked him. LeBron is that toxic person. the Lakers love him because his talent is beautiful and he's an all-time great. And if you rank him on paper, if you perceive him outside the context of sort of what he's like as a teammate every day, he's incredible. And in March, when they made this adjustment where J.J. Redick, according to The Athletic, brought LeBron, and this was yesterday's report, brought LeBron and Austin and Doncic into a room and like, LeBron, you got to be the number 3. They went 15-2 or 16-2. I've actually seen it 2 different ways, 2 different places. And they had a top 10 offense, which they've had this year. But they had a top 10 defense too. They were in March. They were really good. And then everybody got hurt in the Oklahoma City game, and everything fell apart. And yesterday, I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. I was waiting for toxic LeBron. I was waiting for the girl who's beautiful and amazing looking, and you feel like you're lucky to have her. And everybody wants to, in this analogy that I'm stretching till it dies, sign them. And then you realize that maybe it's not worth it. Maybe beauty is, in fact, just skin deep, especially when, in this analogy, the person's 41 years old. Maybe it was worth it at 28. Maybe at 41, it's not quite worth it. And Dave McMenamin, who's an excellent Lakers reporter for ESPN and has covered LeBron forever, and do not call him a stenographer for LeBron's too. Do not do that. He's a paid subscriber, okay?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot he paid. Yeah. Yes.
He's not a stenographer, but like, everybody that has to cover something or something, what are you laughing for?
It's great. It's funny.
He's not.
I know.
Oh, calm down, man. I know you're a Lakers fan. He's not anyway. But when you have to cover a team or people as a beat writer, which is different than a opinionator, you can't make them angry. You rely on them. LeBron is very controlling of the media. If he gives you information, it's news. If he doesn't, you're screwed. I'll let you sort of, not a stenographer, dude. I'll just let you that's the context of when Dave writes things about LeBron, they're accurate. And it's also because LeBron's people want a message out. And I'm going to read you the headline. Ready? Narcissistic pretty girl mad at her boyfriend. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not what it says.
Wrong one.
That's not what it says. LeBron. So here's the deal that Dave is reporting. The headline is basically maybe these two teams maybe the Lakers and LeBron need each other more than they realize. That's the headline. That's not the story. The story is about how in March over that run, there was a game where LeBron became, I think, the all-time winningest player, if you include playoffs. J.J. Redick won his 100th game, and Rob Pelinka came into the locker room. Everyone's like, yeah, we did it. We won. They're winning games. And Pelinka takes the game ball, and instead of who cares about a game ball in March? Instead of giving the game ball to LeBron, gives it to J.J. Redick. And this was, quote, one of the, quote, perceived indignations, end quote, that made LeBron feel like they're trying to push him out. LeBron, quote, LeBron reportedly felt the Lakers took him for granted when Rob Pelinka didn't give him the game ball after he broke the record for most wins in NBA history. Quote, James, who played the past 8 seasons in Los Angeles and helped deliver the franchise's 17th championship in 2020, saw Pelinka's priority in the moment as yet another example of the Lakers taking him for granted, sources said. Here's why I think this is significant and important. There's a debate about where LeBron should be. He is a 40% favorite, 40% likelihood to be a Laker next year, according to the betting markets. If he's not a Laker, it is 50% that he's going to be with the Cavs. He's 1-1 to be a Cavalier. The Warriors are high on that list. Interesting, the Spurs are kind of high on the potential list. And the debate is, should the Lakers bring him back? I know you're a Lakers fan. I just want to make my case here because Doug's kind of convinced me that maybe LeBron could work. Doug's kind of convinced me that they were amazing in March when LeBron took that step backwards. Doncic and Reeves, interestingly, averaged so many steals per game over that stretch that they would have been the best backcourt in the NBA for steals per game. And steals isn't necessarily an indicator of defense. Steph Curry once had the most steals in the league per year one year, and no one would confuse him with the defensive player of the year. But it means when you're operating in a great defensive system and you're not as athletic but superstar guard is committed, and they have they're an athlete, they can get some ball. They can turn people over. Doncic had 2.3 steals per game in March over a 17, 18 game sample size. That would have led the NBA. Point is, everything worked. Even the defense worked. Even for those guys, the backcourt was serviceable defensively. I understand the argument for LeBron, and I'm not saying you don't bring him back, but I think it's mid-level exception. Like for me, the only way I bring LeBron back is if I pay him so little money that it's clear that he is dedicated to the project, to the Lakers, not to himself. And there's an old saying that my dad always told me, and I think it's real. This isn't going to bode well for you on this show since you don't get any money, but it's people value you based on what they pay you, period, full stop. In the world of business, but I give you love. In the world of business, thank you. People value based on what they pay you. So paying LeBron less than market value is a way to indicate to him, we value you as a guy that is an important piece, but not the piece. And it's a way for LeBron to show his commitment. Barring that mid-level exception, $9.5 million, I don't know that I want LeBron back because of some of this silly. And again, I'm just giving Dave a hard time. He's a great reporter, and this is good information. But the right way to interpret this information is not they need each other. It's LeBron is still petty, and LeBron wants to be the center of the universe. And by the way, so did Kobe. It's okay. So did Jordan. This is part of what makes LeBron amazing. But it gives me pause in having LeBron back.
I think that's fair. It's such a crazy story because, again, how many game balls do you think LeBron has? Do you think LeBron really needs a game ball for
where are they?
The most
I bet he threw a bunch of them away.
Can we let JJ Redick have one for coaching 100 games? Is it that big of a deal? It's not like he broke the scoring record. If it was the night he broke the scoring record, okay, that's different. We make up. I feel like every 3 weeks we find this new LeBron did this, LeBron did this, LeBron did it because of his longevity. It's like, come on. If that really is what happened and he really was put out by that, I mean, that says a lot about LeBron and everything.
People close to LeBron. And so, without even stopping to change clothes, this is the story. James marched off into the LA night, simmering from another perceived indignation delivered by the organization that, as one source close to him told ESPN, tried to, quote, push him out the door. He huffed and puffed and ran out of the building. Okay, so I have one game ball equivalent in my home. Okay. It's behind me. If you're watching on Substack, BillRider@Substack.com, and it's meaningful to me because I went to Kobe Bryant's funeral as a reporter, and they sent, I don't know how many people got them, but I got in the mail a short time later this Hall of Fame Class of 24 Mamba Sports Foundation ball.
Wow.
Clearly, I didn't cover Kobe. I didn't know Kobe. They didn't have my information, right? They had it from me signing up as a reporter to go to the funeral. That's the one. And again, you can't see it, obviously, if you're listening on a podcast because it's a podcast. But if you're watching on Substack at the, I don't know what, the 12:30 minute mark, if you want to go looking at it, this is and it's meaningful to me. And it's, right? But it takes up some room. My point is, if I had 90 game balls, they'd be in the garage. Or I would have, quietly thrown them away. To your exact point, you think LeBron was going to take this game ball and put it in a plate? Like every time he goes in the living room, he's like, there's where the game ball would have gone.
No.
He's won 1 million of them.
No, there's no way.
There was a report yesterday, too, and I just want to properly contextualize this from The Athletic. Sam Amick and Dan Wojcicki, two very, very credible journalists, Wojcicki local, Amick national. Okay, we've had Amick on, not this show, but the old radio show a lot. And they reported basically what's up with the Lakers. And the gist of it is that they're going to build their roster around Doncic. That Doncic wants Austin Reeves. He does not want Austin Reeves included in a Giannis Antetokounmpo trade, which maybe we'll get to in a second. The Bucks are open for business. And he is, he is expecting that promise based on an extension that he got. And then there was a really important quote in there that said, this is a league source talking about Doncic's perspective. Quote, the Lakers are on the clock, end quote. That reads to me as,
yeah.
This ain't LeBron. And maybe that's a credit to LeBron. Doncic ain't going to be here in 3 years if things are going badly. And so in analyzing LeBron, you better make sure you get it right as it relates to Doncic, not as it relates to LeBron. I don't even know if I would want, I do know. I would not want Rob Pelinka making those decisions.
No, I certainly would not. And look, you kind of, recapped it nicely before, but what Doug, your co-host, thinks of wanting to run it back, and I think there are probably some Lakers fans that do feel that way. You're always going to have that what if, right? Like if Luka didn't get hurt, if Austin didn't get hurt, if the big three with LeBron included in that were playing at that level going into the playoffs, what could have been? Now, look, I still think they would have lost to the Thunder. maybe they would have won a game. I don't know. Does it really matter?
They
if
would have still lost
4 or 5. They still would have lost to the Thunder, right?
Right.
I think we can agree on that. But I think there are some Lakers fans that do think that, okay, this team got hurt. Maybe there's a chance something could have happened. Maybe this team could have made a run. Okay, fine. I don't feel that way. I am, again, if they want to bring it back for the mid-level, fine. I probably even at that point would prefer not to, but like, fine.
Really?
But, yeah,
Interesting.
I think they just need to move on. I think it needs to be, we need to see what Reeves and Luka as the 1-2 option is.
I agree.
And surround those two with guys that play roles, 3-and-D guys, big guys that catch lobs. And again, they're not going to, once they re-sign Reeves, assuming they do that and don't trade him, which after this report, I assume they're not going to trade Austin Reeves. They're not going to have a whole lot of money to work with. They don't have a whole lot of assets.
They don't.
We'll see what they can build around them. But that's kind of.
I'm going to give you, after a fake break, I'm going to give you my plan for the Lakers.
Ooh, I like this. Yes.
So we'll be right back. Literally in 2 seconds if you're on BillWriter.substack.com, or after we sell you some underwear. We'll be back in 3 minutes on Apple or Spotify.
Welcome back to Writer Than You.
Yeah, I mean, sweet and to the point. Welcome back to Writer Than You. Okay, I've somewhat crunched the numbers on this, so it's like I'm probably gonna get some of this wrong, but I would. So okay, the Lakers with Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic need wing defenders, guys that can make 3-point shots, and people that can basically roll to the bucket and get easy buckets at the rim, like guys you can just lob the rock to, like Daniel Gafford style people. You also need a general manager who has those assets and can be ripped off. Back when I was younger and I would trade baseball cards, there were always a couple of kids in the neighborhood that you would try to trade with, but you didn't try to trade with them too often because then their parents would be like, why did you trade your Bo Jackson black and white card for a penny card, right? You have to identify this person. You have to go in when only rarely. That person is my friend Joe Dumars. I like Joe a lot, but he is not a good GM in New Orleans. They are in a rebuild kind of spot. They're not doing well. Things aren't going great. Joe is easy to, some would say, Joe is quite easy to fleece. Trey Murphy, Herb Jones. I believe Jones makes $20 million a year, 22, I think, or 23. Trey Murphy makes $28 a year. They're both under contract for 2 more years. I think Jones for 2 more years and Murphy for 3 more years. The Lakers have their first round pick this year. It's not very good. Number 25. Then they've got 31 and 33, I believe, that they can trade. They have 3 first round picks and they have a bunch of pick swaps. There's not a lot to offer, but I do wonder if you could get one of those guys for some of those picks. Or both. I know you're not going to get both those guys if you sort of included some other players, because in order to get to the $50 million, you have to give up your bird rights on LeBron. You have to give up your bird rights on Rui. I mean, you have to basically clean house. DeAndre Ayton, who's terrible, has a $8.5 million player option that you hope he'll turn down.
But you would think he would probably.
I think he's going to pick it up because he checks notes.
DeAndre Ayton. I don't know if anyone wants DeAndre Ayton. Yeah,
he sucks. So that's the move for me. It's Luka and Austin, and then go get a premier young defender, one of those guys, and then you're going to have to basically off of the street create that kind of excellence. And I'm going to say this too. Everyone's like, when Bronny got drafted, like, who cares? 2nd round pick doesn't matter. No one ever. Those guys ever make it. Okay. But if you're the Lakers, then it's not a good free agency class this summer. I mean, Austin Reeves is the best offensive creator that's outside of LeBron that's basically available, especially for his age. And he's not available if the Lakers just give him all the money. I don't think they're going to give him the $48 million supermax, but he's going to make 40. He's going to make 40. And by the way, if he wants to go somewhere else, he's going to make $177 million over 4 years. There's no one available. It would have been nice if the Lakers had drafted, instead of Bronny James, some 6'8" wing that had a 10% chance or a 20% chance of developing into a 15 to 20 minute a game player, because Bronny had 0 chance. I mean, Bronny's not very good. So it's not easy to build this thing. That's my thing. I would go get Herb Jones or Trey Murphy.
I like it. I think that's the kind of guy that the Lakers are going to get. If you think Lakers are going to be getting Giannis without trading Austin Reeves, then listen,
Yeah.
you're delusional. That's
I
not going
want
to
to sell.
happen.
In that case, I want to sell you a pass to Never Never Land that I have.
Yeah.
It's only $500. You can hang out with Peter Pan.
It's just not.
No,
You're gonna hear a lot of unrealistic Laker fans starting Monday, Bill, because they are gonna be calling in, and you're gonna.
I know.
You're gonna be getting those.
I'm the voice of reason on that show.
I think we could trade Rui's expiring contract for Giannis, and yeah, you're gonna get. A lot of
you
that.
could. I do think you can get a lot for Austin, like in a sign and trade. Like I do think that you can.
Austin,
sign and trade Austin, but Luka wants him. And I want to see it. All right, enough Lakers talk. I'm going to have a lot of that next week.
Yes, you are.
Although I think it's Cavs talk. There's also a debate in Cleveland about whether they want LeBron back. And assuming that the Pistons win that series, is that thing at 2-2?
It is now 2-2. Yes, it is now 2-2. So
game is back in. They're back in Pittsburgh tonight at 5 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock your time.
5 o'clock your time, 8 o'clock my time. Yeah.
Assuming that the Cavs go away. I actually think LeBron can make sense in Cleveland. And I don't mind him. I just personally don't mind him going there a third time. It's home. It's home. Maybe he goes to the Warriors. The other big name is you noted Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's available. The Bucks are open to calls. I push back on this too if you disagree. I don't feel like he's a sure thing anymore. I know he's amazing. I know when he's healthy, he's amazing. He's 31. He's had injuries. I mean, he's a star. He's a star. But on a 3-year timeline, are we sure it's not going to look a lot like the Embiid contract or the Kyler Murray contract in Arizona before he was a Viking or the Dak Prescott contract? I feel like that Giannis might be one of these you have to sign him guys, when in fact, I don't know that you do, or trade for him, or depending sort of on the situation, whether you're the Bucks or somebody else. He's not. He and Luka Doncic don't win an NBA championship together next year. I don't think, for example, and they're not going to get him anyway because they're not going to trade Austin Reeves. I'm just not sure. It's not a no. I'm just not sure that I don't have the confidence in Doncic that you should absolutely get him the way that I did 2 years ago, year and a half ago, when I first heard this was possible.
I think I'm with you. I think I'm with you because, again, you mentioned 31, and I saw that yesterday. I'm like, wow, he's 31 already. That is a crazy thing to think about. And you're right. Like, he has not been the cleanest bill of health. He has had injuries. He's a great player. He's probably a guy that would complement Luka well in theory, but
it's a good fit.
You're gutting your whole roster. It would literally be Luka, Giannis, and then 13 guys on the minimum, basically, just coming, and you're hoping that you have the two best players on the floor, and then the rest of the roster comes together. That's one. And then two, like you're right with the injuries. Like, he's someone that's been injured a lot. He's getting older. He's taking a lot of hits. Like, right. He's still probably a top 5 player in the NBA right now, but are we going to be talking about him that way in 2 or 3 years? Probably not.
The thing that makes me nervous about him is that he requires his explosive athleticism in a way that Steph Curry doesn't, and that Jokic doesn't. That you can perceive of and see, and we're already seeing it with Steph and LeBron too, a post sort of, I mean, LeBron's a freak, but post peak athleticism career. LeBron, big guy, has learned to hit some 3-point shots, has great basketball IQ, can back anybody down, right? Nobody can guard him. I mean, now he plays with his back to the basket when he needs to. Steph's a shooter. Jokic already looks like he's 50 when he was 23. So I just worry that when Giannis hits, like Russell Westbrook, I think when Giannis's athleticism hits a certain sort of deterioration level, it could be a severe trailing off of his ability.
Yeah, because the defense will lack a little. He'll still be a good defensive player, but he's not going to get as many block shots, and that'll go down a little. You're not going to get the great flying dunks. Like,
he's not a shooter.
And that's the thing. He's not a shooter. So what is he, right? Like, still probably a pretty good player, but he's not a guy you want as, a top 5 player in the league that you're kind of building around with Luka.
I don't think you can take the risk with Luka. Luka's young enough. That's the thing, is like, if Luka was 33 or 34, or he had 1 year left on his deal and he was already thinking about leaving, go for Giannis. Because what do you have to lose? I think you can build a winner around Luka without taking the risk on Giannis. If you take the risk on Giannis and it doesn't work, you have squandered Giannis and Luka. There are teams that make sense for getting Giannis Antetokounmpo. If I'm the Nets, of course I want Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
If I'm the Miami Heat, I think you're sort of at your wit's end. If you're the Warriors, I don't know how you do that, but hell yeah, if you could somehow pull that off. To pair him with an aged Steph, and maybe you get one last championship run out of the sort of Steph era. If you're the Rockets, maybe you're like, okay, this hasn't worked. This hasn't run its course. But again, I don't know how you even make that fit. But if you're the Lakers, I think you have other options.
I think you're right. What if you're the Celtics?
Oh, that's really interesting. Jaylen Brown for Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Yeah. Do you consider that if you're the Celtics
Yes.
after a
I think you
disappointing
do.
exit? You think Tatum and Brown has run its course in terms of?
I would run it back, except for that's a really great shout, as my kids would say. Cap.
Yes.
I'm dead. I think that means I'm laughing. Cap, Stu. I would bring Jaylen Brown back in a vacuum. I would pair him with Jason Tatum. They've won an NBA championship. Tatum got hurt. The thing is, Brown's comments, the things that have been going on, the reporting, if you have a toxic work environment in the NBA, it can't work. I don't know who's to blame. I'm not blaming Jaylen Brown. I'm not blaming the Celtics, but something's wrong there. Maybe Jaylen Brown's got to go away. And if he's going to go away, I don't know you get a better player in return than Giannis that gives you immediate impact and ability. Giannis and Jason Tatum are going to be a dynamic duo. And Jaylen Brown, I think, he can be a top 10 player in the NBA, full stop. He might be already. So if I'm John Horst and the Milwaukee Bucks, is there a better potential return than a package centered around Jaylen Brown for Giannis? I don't think there is. And I think you hold the Celtics hostage. I'm like, give me Jaylen Brown and give me something else too.
Yeah, because they do have a lot of good young players on that bench, and yeah, they've developed a lot of good players. So that would be the interesting one for me. I think that would be the most intriguing one, seeing Giannis and Tatum together next year on a Celtics team that, I would say exceeded expectations this year. I know they lost in the first round of the playoffs, so that sounds kind of weird, but at least in the regular season, they were a team that I thought played a lot better than I thought they were going to. And if you change Brown for Giannis, I think that's interesting. And Tatum and Giannis together is kind of an intriguing, because Jaylen and Tatum are kind of the same guy in a way, like
kind of redundant.
Yeah, they're a little redundant. At least Giannis, it's just different, and I think it would be intriguing in the East to see what they do.
I mean, Jaylen Brown's a great defender, but so is Giannis too. I mean, it's So it's not like for like, but on the sort of net that you're trying to create offensively and defensively, it feels like it works. Last NBA topic here for Stu before you have your cat's dental appointment. Is that what it was?
Cat's dental appointment.
I can't remember. Yeah,
that would be
crazy.
Problematic.
People and their pets, man. Daryl Morey got fired yesterday by the Sixers. He's the longtime general manager there. He actually has a higher title than that. I just want to do a little self-congratulatory pat on the back on something I used to say all the time, and my good friends at CBS Sports never took it seriously, reported it, and I don't work there anymore. So connection maybe. I had heard 2 or 3 years ago and reported. Do you like the 0 Fs that I give now? I give very few Fs.
I love it. It's great.
You think I'm gonna be working at CBS Sports in the immediate future? Thank God.
See about that.
I reported 2 or 3 years ago that the job Bob Myers wanted, I don't even remember this, was the Sixers job. There's the job that he wanted. And the problem was Daryl Morey had the job. Everybody rolled their eye. There's a job there. Well, if you remember, Bob Myers became an advisor to Josh Harris, the owner of the Commanders and the Sixers, and weirdly for some of their football stuff. He was just advising them. Bob Myers is now leading the search for the general manager of the Sixers, which means, I will connect the dots, Bob Myers certainly was involved in advising the ownership to do what they did yesterday in a meeting with Daryl Morey and fired Daryl Morey. I talked to several people around Daryl yesterday. I actually texted with Daryl yesterday. He didn't give me any information. I just texted, I'm sorry this happened. I think you got a raw deal. And he wrote back, thanks. Really nice to hear from you, Bill. Appreciate that. But I did talk to some people around Daryl. And one of the points somebody made is Teams make the semifinal of the playoffs and the GMs get fired. Teams are brutal in the lottery and they get extensions. I think they're referring to the Clippers GM. The NBA is a crazy place. I wouldn't have given Embiid the deal. Everybody on earth would have given Embiid the deal. I wouldn't have brought in Paul George. Daryl's a big game hunter. That was a giant mistake. Daryl did an amazing job drafting players. When you trade one of those amazing players and Jared McCain away and it looks like you're a moron, it doesn't help. So I'm not saying he did the best job or the worst job in the world. I will just say this. Bring it back to the Lakers. I don't know how the Lakers evaluate Daryl Morey, but I will remind people that the Dodgers group bought the Lakers. Guggenheim owns them now. And Daryl Morey's not Andrew Friedman. What does Andrew Friedman do? He surrounds himself with a bunch of former GMs. He's not afraid to have people in the room with him who could basically take his job. Same for Daryl Morey. There's several former GMs who were consultants or worked on his staff. And Andrew Friedman and the Dodgers are over the top in their sort of sabermetrician approach. They are numbers based. So is Daryl. And Daryl's a big guy. I just think I think it's an interesting, I'm not a Pelinka guy. And I think Daryl Morey would be interesting for the Lakers.
I don't think I disagree. I think Pelinka's kind of done everything he could do. I think it's pretty obvious that he's not going to be there for too much longer. I mean, we'll see what happens, but Morey would be the guy that's okay. That's intriguing. It's a guy with a track record, a guy that's built some interesting rosters. Has not won a lot, but again,
he's not won a lot.
I don't know.
You look nervous. You look nervous. You don't love it.
I don't hate it though. I definitely don't hate it. It's better than some guy that's never built a team coming in to build the team. So I think I would get behind that. I would take Morey over Pelinka for sure.
Yeah, I feel bad for Daryl. I think he got kind of a raw deal. All right, we gotta get you out of here. You got a tooth thing going on. I'm sorry, dude. I shouldn't make a joke about the dentist. The dentist sucks.
It's all
man.
good. It's fine.
No, the dentist is the worst. When I was a kid, I went to the dentist, and it was very, very terrifying, and I freaked out, and they sent me home. Did you like that story? Was it a great story? Was that the best story you've ever heard?
Yes.
All right. Fake break time. We will be right back.
You're listening to Writer Than You.
Stu, when the Rick Barnes sound was playing, said, I hope you mess up this last line so bad. I swear, that's the last thing I heard.
He's such a bad guy.
It's Writer Than You with Phil Leiter.
Welcome back into the show. I miss Ryan Hickey.
Me too.
I miss Trace. He doesn't want to come on the show. Some of you have asked. I love Ryan. He's just kind of taking a break or maybe a forever break from sports media. So those of you that have asked, he's not been banished from the show. He's not. By the way, Tom let it drop the other day. Were you on the show? I can't remember. Kind of talked about what happened with him why Bogus went off the show all those years ago.
Yes, I was on that show. Yes, where was
people are asking what actually happened because Bogus was on last week.
Right.
I will do it in the next mailbag. Ooh. We'll do a mailbag and we'll tell. But I gotta get Tom to be on there. So we'll do the next mailbag where we can get Tom on the phone. So you take that for what you want in terms of.
It might be a couple months from now. We'll
could
see
be a
when
year.
That happens. Yeah.
Tom hated on the radio doing NFL schedule release. I love NFL schedule release. I don't know why I like going through it. I like going through it. I like predicting. I like Adam Schefter's out there putting out how many miles everybody's gonna fly, air miles. I'm down for that. I don't know, man. Like why? It's the NFL. Let's go. That's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Thursday, I believe full schedule release.
Yeah, Thursday. Yeah. Thursday's a day. Tomorrow's a day. I don't know why he would hate it. I mean, we talk about the NFL so much in what we do. Shouldn't we care? This is going to be our life for 4 months between September and December. Right. Like, got to see what games are which week, what the primetime games are. I think those are always interesting to find out what those are. I guess if you have a local team, seeing what teams, like, we know who is coming in, but I guess see when they're coming in, right? If you want to see, like, if the Chiefs are coming in, when is Mahomes going to be back? Is Mahomes going to play? I want to see Mahomes, that kind of thing.
You want to go to Vegas? You're like, let me look at the Vegas schedule. All right, I did this yesterday. Are you a fan of jazz? Are you a jazz fan? Do you love jazz?
Not really.
Okay, you're about to experience jazz by yourself. I'm making it up as I go.
What side will Bill take on the biggest issues in the world of sports? It's time for today's edition of Buy or Sell on Writer Than You.
Stu, buy or sell the San Antonio Spurs, who are now up 3-2 over, is that right? Over NBA.
Yeah. 3-2.
Over the Timberwolves.
Yep.
Buy or sell the San Antonio Spurs will lose another game in this round.
Sell. I think they will win
Sell.
games. Yeah, they'll win game 6 in Minnesota. Yeah, I think that's
Buy or sell in health allowing. Victor Wembanyama will be a top 2 player in the NBA for the next 10 years.
buy. He is
Buy.
that good. You saw what he did last night after his not so great performance on Sunday with the ejection, but we've moved on from that, I feel like, and yeah, I think
That was
we
crazy,
are going to
though.
see him. He's a unicorn. He is terrifying inside. He can shoot the 3. Best defensive player in the league. Grabbed 15 rebounds. Yeah, he is the guy, I think, going forward.
Buy or sell that the Spurs will win at least 2 games. So the series will go at least 6 games against the Thunder.
Buy.
Buy.
I think the Spurs can win the series, by the way.
Yeah. And again, I know we've talked about this a lot. The fact that they won 4 out of 5 in the regular season, just that's if that didn't happen, I probably would say the Thunder are going to win this in 5 easily, maybe even sweep. But because of that, because of how well they match up, and because of how good Wemby is, if he's on the floor, I think it's a series. I would say 6. Thunder in 6 is what I would say at the moment.
Buy or sell, either the Pistons or the Cavs can beat the Knicks in a 7-game series.
I'm going to sell that. I think this Knicks team is,
Sell.
at least in the Eastern Conference, I think they are the clear best team. Now, if they play either the Spurs or the Thunder in the finals, I think that's a totally different story. But I don't think the Pistons or the Cavs are going to give the Knicks a lot of trouble. They'll win a game each. If the Pistons will win a game, the Cavs will win a game. But I don't think you're going to get much more than that.
Buy or sell, Barcelona clinching La Liga in El Clásico against Real Madrid.
Yes.
Is the universe smiling on all of us?
Oh, bye. Oh, that was
think-
fantastic.
Bye.
I was very happy to see that on Sunday, and yeah, I was.
Buy or
time.
sell, soccer alert, you non-soccer fans, that the president of Real Madrid, Florentino Perez, his press conference yesterday. Buy or sell, you're aware of what happened yesterday with his press conference.
I am actually not.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, then I want to ask you a question, but he called a press conference yesterday and had a meltdown and just talked about conspiracies and I'm in charge and just basically people are calling it it's the Herman. It's basically like a total meltdown. Yeah, it's I haven't seen it. I've been reading the Canelo Speak Spanish as we learned at the Marcelo Hernandez concert. Have you heard this story?
Well, what story?
Have you heard the Marcelo Hernandez story?
No.
Quick story. My wife and son love Marcelo Hernandez, the
Okay.
comedian from SNL.
Yeah.
Lori wanted me to take Henry to it 2 months ago. I didn't want to go to the Hollywood Bowl. It's far away and expensive. She said, too bad it's Mother's Day. You have to go. I said, oh, crap. Okay. She said, buy the tickets. These tickets? Yes, they were $700. I bought the tickets. $700, dude. We took an Uber. We went there on Sunday night. I was tired from the new job. It's fine. Love Henry. Love my time with Henry. Get there. They love the Marcelo Hernandez first Netflix special. They've seen all of it multiple times. This is the second one. Netflix is a joke fest. It's a festival here in LA. A bunch of comedians. First act comes up, 20, 30 minutes. Guy speaks in Spanish. And Henry's like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, Marcelo Hernandez is bilingual, so he's obviously supporting Spanish-speaking comedians. This is really cool. Like, we don't understand it, but like, what a nice gesture. Second comedian comes up. She speaks for 45 minutes. Spanish. Same thing. Marcelo, the concert was in Spanish, or the stand-up was in Spanish. We left. The whole thing was in Spanish. Lori didn't, and Lori said it was my fault, and I said it was Lori's fault. Buy or sell, it was my fault.
That's
Buy or
about
sell,
right.
It was my fault.
I mean, did it say specifically on the tickets this is in
No.
Spanish? How would you know? Yeah, no.
It's in the tickets. Netflix is a joke, Marcelo Hernandez. Now, I was sitting there like, oh, buddy, it's English. And he came out, Marcelo, and spoke Spanish for 5 minutes. And Henry's like, Dad, I'm like, it's English. Google, and I Googled it, and it's had on the Googs, on the AI, I had to scroll down. Like, so it's like, you have the screen, right? Look, picture me and Henry.
Yeah.
Or phone. He had to scroll down, and then it said, this particular one is in Spanish. Lori, I walked in. Lori's like, why didn't you check? I'm like, check. You told me to buy the tickets. I bought the tickets. I don't even watch Marcelo Hernandez. You watch SNL. Anyway, we had a big fight. We had a bit of a fight about that one.
You can't be the only ones that happened to. There had to be other people there.
A couple other people left. That's just mine. Yeah, it was brutal, bro.
That's like stealing your money. That's terrible.
You work at SNY now, which is a 24-hour sports network in New York City. It has Mets games. It's a really great opportunity for Stu. You're doing sports television. By all accounts, they love you. Sources tell me that you are impressing everybody in what is a huge upset. If that can happen, the Spurs can win against Thunder. I'm just saying. No, you're the best. I love you. Mets are the focus of that network, and you're doing a lot of Mets.
Yeah.
The Mets have the highest payroll in baseball, and they're bad. Yeah. But we've seen teams start poorly and finish strong. We've seen the buy or sell, the Mets will turn their season around.
I'm going to say sell because the pitching's pretty good. They can make moves at the deadline, but the offense is just kind of just dead. It's like Soto hasn't been that good. Lindor's been hurt. And then all the other guys they've brought in, the free agents they've brought in this offseason, like Bichette and Polanco and Luis Robert, have either been hurt or not good. It just doesn't give you a lot of confidence. But we'll see what happens. Like you said, it's a long season, but I don't know. I kind of feel like they're way behind the 8 ball at this point.
The Braves are on fire. The Cubs are playing very well. The Giants can't score or hit home runs unless they play the Dodgers. And the Dodgers have now lost 4 in a row. They're still, I think, top of the NL West or just behind the Padres.
Yeah, them and the Padres. I'm looking at it, yeah.
Buy or sell, there's any reason to be worried about the Dodgers if you're a Dodgers fan.
Sell.
Sell.
I know the pitching's a little banged up, but they're going to be fine. I know, like Glasnow and Snell are always kind of going to be hurt.
Right.
If you can get one of them healthy for the playoff run to go with
Snell just came back.
And Ohtani,
yeah,
they'll be fine.
They had the second highest payroll in baseball.
Yes.
Yeah, they spent a lot of money. Buy or sell, Tom is a bad guy.
Oh, buy. Oh, yeah. That's the easiest one. Oh, buy. Yeah.
Don't have to explain it. Yeah. Don't have to explain the inexplicable. You know what I'm saying? No. Like, it's okay. Oh, you know what? Hallelujah. Oh, I almost screwed. Oh, I was about to say buy or sell. I got to cut the buttons.
Sell.
I was about to brag about the buttons.
It's always at the end. It's always like
I know. I let my focus waver, Stu. I let my focus waver. Let my waiver focus. What?
You're listening.
Oh my God, Ryder. You're such an idiot. They're both red. They're both red. There's not enough colors in the rainbow for me to operate this thing. Like it's time for the red one because that's the wrong red one.
Wrong red.
I'm supposed to be under number 7. I was under number 4. All right, Stewie. Thanks for hanging.
Thank you, Bill.
Great stuff today. I'm going to put Stu down, but I want to thank Stu for not being Tom and for being him. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed the podcast and the button magic. We'll see you Friday.